Good morning. If these guys are the kind of people we're attracting to one of our famous Roy Gunnell grand openings, maybe it's time we review some of our promotional strategies. Maybe we need to rethink giving away Roy's free ammunition, hand grenades, and stuff like that. But on a more serious note, I really get pumped coming here every year because I really believe I'm standing among the greatest retail tire dealers in America. Give yourselves a hand. We really are grateful for your hard work, your dedication, and the results you achieve because, quite frankly, it makes the job of selling big old franchises a lot easier for Dave and myself. Right now, when you figure in the land, building, and assets, the total investment to start a new big old franchise today is about $1 million. But that's really not such a tough sale. Not when you have great dealers and great programs and the great products that we had that you heard about and we'll hear more about. And with each new store, we plant seeds that will grow greater success for everyone. Does anyone here recognize the name John Chapman? No, he's not a curator of the zoo. No, he's not our new big old dealer from, of all places, Eufaula, Oklahoma, or Pagosa Springs, Colorado. Actually, he lived 150 years ago, and rumor has it that he wore a cooking pot for a hat. That's right, Johnny Appleseed. And there are millions of apple trees growing throughout Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Indiana that flourish today because of his single-minded dedication to his mission, filling the landscape with apple trees one seed at a time. Well, we at Big O had our own Johnny Appleseed of sorts, Uncle Tom Staker. Unc, by his own admission, the world's greatest tire salesman, went throughout the West with single-minded dedication, opening new Big O stores. Using his knowledge and his skill, he would personally train new dealers so that they would have every chance of growing and flourishing. In fact, he probably trained many of you who are here today. Today, we are all beneficiaries of Unc's vision. His vision that growth is good and that there are strength in numbers. And believe me, we are really growing strong. In 1997, we finally broke through the 400-store barrier with Herb Hawley's newest store in Delta, Colorado. And I'd like to say to you, Herb, congratulations and thanks. But that was just the beginning. We actually added 20 new stores in 1997. Add that to the 395 stores that we had, and we ended the year with a total of 415 stores. In an era of industry consolidation and slow growth, we're just beginning to roll. We plan to make 1998 our biggest growth year ever with a total goal of 28 new stores. Now everyone can do the math on this. With our current 415 stores, that would give us a projected year-end total of 443 stores. I almost gag on that number. Talk about making a big impression on the market. This is really going to keep Dave Boki busy for a while. Let me give you another perspective on our growth. In 1986, we had approximately 200 stores. We finished 1997 with 415 stores. So over the last decade, basically, we've doubled our size. And we're seeing this growth in all markets. Large markets like Los Angeles and San Francisco, medium markets like Spokane, Washington, and Evansville, Indiana, and even smaller markets like the two I mentioned earlier, Eufaula, Oklahoma, and Pagosa Springs, Colorado. Particularly interesting, though, is our growth through our conversion program. Land prices are just out of sight in Los Angeles County, but in 1997, we were able to convert 2 dealers, and in January of this year, we converted a 3rd. The same is true in San Francisco. We've looked at downtown San Francisco for years, but real estate prices are among the highest in the world. And yet, we now have a Big O store in downtown San Francisco, and we may have a second one soon because of the conversion program. In fact, let's hear from our 2 new San Francisco dealers and find out the reasons why they joined the Big O family.
We spent some time with the Big O people and found out more about the company, and it seemed to fit in very well with what we wanted to do for ourselves as business people. After getting some more information, we spent a couple of days out here in Denver about 2 months ago, a day traveling with our area VP, meeting a lot of the dealers in our area. We liked what we saw very much and decided to, and Big O, luckily for us, liked what they saw in us and decided to make the conversion and become part of the Big O family with the Big O program. All the dealers that we have met, both the ones that we met when we were just doing some fact finding, as well as all the ones that I've met since we made the decision to convert to Big O, have been great. As part of the family that they've already established and grown, they're always looking for new people to come in that are going to carry on the Big O tradition and the Big O name, and we've received a great reception from the dealers that are operating so far.
We actually did a tour of the stores and interviewed owners and personnel. We didn't get any negative responses from anyone. Everybody was helpful. They were friendly. They were willing to share information. I think we're going to be the leading tire store in San Francisco. And it's not just because we're hot, but it's because of the name recognition and the way that the program is performed and just the attitude of everybody. I think it is going to bring a whole new excitement to our shop too.
We expect to be able to duplicate that kind of success in many other markets. And I must say the success of this program is because of the total team effort between our regional staff and our dealer committees. And Brad Finley has done a great job of leading the program. The other important aspect of growth is duplicating our own success by encouraging Big O dealers to expand into second and third stores. This is, without a doubt, our very best growth. And we have some new programs to make it easier for you to do that. The 1998 Kickstart program will offer a 3-year, $50,000 inventory note to help get new stores out of the gate. For the first year, you only have to pay interest on the note, approximately $459 a month. Then in the second and third years, you'll begin paying both principal and interest, which is about $2,330 per month. But by that time, you've usually attracted a customer base and have reasonable cash flow. This program will greatly reduce the amount of cash required by yourself for that new store. High costs for land and building continue to be a challenge to opening new stores. In our finance department, John Adams and Bill Ketchum are finalizing some of the most exciting new financing programs we've ever had available to us. They, in conjunction with TBC's management, are developing these programs, and they will enable us to enter many trade area sites that are presently not available to us due to the high cost. This will enable the dealer to not only acquire the land and building, but be able to cash flow the rent during those first few difficult years. They're also finalizing programs which will allow a good operator who may not have the startup capital to become an owner. We'll be announcing the details of these programs in the very near future. We're very, very excited about them. If any of you want to talk details, please talk to myself, Dave Boki, or Brad Finley throughout the convention. Okay, now you might ask, why do we have such a commitment to opening new stores? And some of you are probably asking, why are they opening more locations in my market? Well, there are very important reasons. One, our new stores are filling gaps in our existing markets. Even in markets where we have stores, new locations are carefully chosen for areas where our coverage is just not strong. So growth gives us that critical mass in the marketplace. New stores almost never cut in to your business. They really, in fact, create new business. We've increased locations in Colorado Springs by 3 new stores over the last 5 years. Today, every store in the market is now doing $1 million in business. Over the last 7 years, we've added 10 stores in the Denver area and we've doubled our business in the market. And what's more, every individual store has increased its sales. Even in small markets like Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and Fort Collins, Colorado, we've seen similar results. Everywhere we look, existing stores benefit from the addition of new Big O outlets. A second reason is that more stores help defer the cost of advertising. The more stores we have, the more advertising we can do, the more effective our advertising will be, and the more customers it will attract to everyone's store. A third reason to pursue growth is that our competition is changing. For the most part, we're not up against independents with 1 or 2 locations anymore. They're rapidly diminishing. We're competing against big guys with Sears, with Pep Boys, with Discount, Les Schwab. I don't need to tell you the kind of clout they have both in marketing and purchasing. So when you play on the court with these guys, bigger truly is better. Sort of like the playoffs. The lower level competition, like the independents, are being knocked out of the game. So to win, you have to keep moving up through the competition. But with every step, the game gets tougher. To stay in the game, we need purchasing power and marketing muscle. We get that by sticking together and growing. Of course, growth also gives our Big O name the kind of familiarity that gives consumers confidence and comfort level. That helps build preference for our brand. And the more we grow, the more valuable your franchises become. We're very proud of the way we're able to stand up to competition. Everyone in this room is a feisty entrepreneur. Unc truly would be proud of you. I know we are. Thank you for making business development an easier job for us. Thank you.
After coming close to capturing Bigfoot at the Big O store, we took time to regroup. And then Jimbo showed me something he had picked up at the Big O store. A memo sent to the store manager from a guy named Staker, Tom Staker. A memo about Bigfoot training. It made my blood run cold.
Monty, take a look at this. I think the Staker guy beat us to it. It's all right here. He's talking about training a Bigfoot. Well, you gotta have a Bigfoot if you're talking about training a Bigfoot. If you're talking about training a Bigfoot, you must be thinking about a circus or a show or something. You don't think he's already got a deal with NBC, do you?
Well, let's not panic, Jimbo, okay? Let's just think this through, be rational, okay? We're dead.
No, don't you tell me that.
All right, then let me spell it out for you. We are dead.
Marty, listen to me. I can't go back to the way the things were, all right? I mean, I love your cooking and all, but how much tuna casserole can a guy eat? I mean, come on, Marty.
Yeah, you got a point. It's just a momentary weakness. Let me see that memo again, will you? A training center. Must be some sort of big top. Let's go see what we can find out, okay? We were surprised by the Big O Training Center. It didn't look like any wild animal facility that we'd ever seen, but we still implemented our plan.
Here!
Can I help you?
Right. Well, I'm here for the Bigfoot training.
Well, we actually provide our own chairs here.
Well, I prefer me own, you know. You get used to the feel of it, you know?
I know that, Tom Staker. This is some kind of a weird test, isn't it?
No, sir, I'm a Bigfoot training expert. I'll whip those babies into shape for you.
Well, that won't be necessary. In fact, we really use the most advanced training techniques here.
Right, more advanced than this?
Well, as a matter of fact, we use hands-on training.
Hands-on. Right. You can get that close without a cattle prod.
Well, electroshock therapy is rarely necessary.
Well, how do you get them to do those circus tricks with that, like walking on those tight little ropes with that stupid little umbrella? God, I hate that.
As a matter of fact, that's not even part of the curriculum. Our trainees go under the cars.
Under the cars, right. What kind of act is that? I suppose they lift them up.
Well, of course they lift the cars up.
Oh. Right. Well, I guess I'd pay to see something like that.
Well, as a matter of fact, here comes one of our Bigfoot trainees now.
Oh, wait a minute! You're not 7 feet tall!
Well, I certainly am not.
You're not even covered with hair. Look at that. You're as bald as a baby.
Well, thank you for pointing that out.
Could I get some security up here, please?
Oh, this is wrong! It took my whip.
Bigfoot took your whip?
No, not Bigfoot. Look, Marty, I don't know what's going on in there, but it's not what we thought.
Well, I'm relieved to hear that.
Wait a second. Don't move.
As Jimbo struggled to get out of the gunny sack again, I worried that our path to Bigfoot may have grown cold. And then it occurred to me, when the path grows cold, baby penguins need fluffy little booties on their feet. And you do too. That one might work. It also occurred to me that this Staker guy seemed to have some interesting ideas about training. Maybe we could use those someday.
Let's hear some of those interesting training ideas. Please welcome Tom Staker.
You know, Greg, I kind of like that whip and chair idea. Maybe we can try that at the training center. Anyway, we might, now that that I'm up here, making a big impression, but I'm really here to talk about training today. In fact, instead of giving you highlights of a lot of different areas, I'd like to focus primarily on training this morning. And there's a good reason for this. Training at all levels of our organization is becoming increasingly important today as a competitive tool. Of course, good, solid training has always been a part of Big O's philosophy. We were an industry pioneer in developing basic procedures for effective tire retailing, and we instilled those procedures in our managers and salespeople through the Blue Book and Bigology. The exceptional levels of service that resulted built our reputation for customer satisfaction, and we grew. We added a training center and more extensive and sophisticated training methods as we continued to grow. Today, we remain an industry leader in our commitment to preparing owners and managers for successful tire store operations. So when I'm talking about training, I'm really just talking about getting back to basics. But like Vince Lombardi always said, excellence is achieved by the mastery of the fundamentals. Let me tell you a quick story. Steve and I were hiking in the woods way out in the mountains when we spotted a grizzly bear that was stalking us. So I calmly sat down and took off my hiking boots and put on a pair of running shoes. Now Steve looked at me and said, "Hey, what good will that do? You can't outrun a grizzly bear." And I responded as I laced up my shoes, "I don't have to, Steve. I just have to stay ahead of you." Now that's not very different from our business. There are a lot of change forces nipping at the heels of tire retailers these days, and these changes are not good for any of us in the industry. But we certainly hope they affect our competitors more than they do us. Training is like a good pair of running shoes. It can keep us a few steps ahead of the competition. And we have taken some impressive new steps with our training programs to make sure that that happens. One of the keys is bench strength. We don't want any weaknesses in our organization at any level. That is an ongoing process and challenge for you. And we have a lot of programs that can help. As you know, we have started a TIPS program, Training Ideas Proven Successful. Not only does this program provide good product information, but it also gives you a way to add spark to your weekly operational meetings, and with very little preparation on your part. Every TIPS topic comes with a complete lesson plan. These are not complicated. They are short, interesting ways to present product information. So each week, you can talk about operations issues and have a tips topic. Your people increase their skill and knowledge and never have to worry about what you're going to talk about. Let's hear from Ron Jones from Northern California and how they have implemented the TIPS program.
As the TIPS bulletins come in through the pouch, we generally get them at the owner's meeting or through the inter-office mail. We have the managers take those and put them in their folder for the Saturday morning meeting, and then they're to go over that particular subject at the Saturday morning meeting and have each one of the guys initial that they received that training. They actually read the whole bulletin. They're not very long, so it doesn't take long to get through it, but it's a reminder of some of the things that the guys are already supposed to know. You assume that they know them, but again, you don't know until you actually go over that training. It's written pretty simply for a guy to understand. So if a new guy comes into your store, you could hand him the manual and have him go through and read each one of those bulletins in less than an hour and initial them and know that he also received that training. That TIPS manual, it costs you nothing. It's real simple. You do it over a long period of time. You know, it's not like somebody hands you a big book and you take a portion of it at a time. It's like these bulletins come out in such a fashion, like 3-4 weeks apart, that there's no reason why you couldn't cover each one of those bulletins before the next one got there. And so it's real easy to implement. So if they do that every week, they can't help but improve the service in the store, improve the level of employees' morale, too.
Of course, the trick is to turn all of that new product knowledge into increased sales. One good way to do that is through our National Training School. These are 6 5-week courses run throughout the year at our Denver training facility. They are highly focused with a curriculum based on proven sales and management techniques. Send an associate to any portion of the course you like. The program is designed to be flexible. But any way you do it, the results can be very impressive. Let's hear from Art Rowley on what the training has done for him and his partner Mike Rowley from the Grass Valley store in Northern California.
Mike and I decided to send him to the new training school. Going without a key person in my shop for this long a period of time was not an easy decision to make. We have absolutely no regrets. Not only did Mike return with a wealth of knowledge and ideas to improve our operation, he returned with a level of enthusiasm that our whole shop tapped into. Training is a key element to any successful business. Greg is a true professional operating in an amazingly wonderful facility. We can all be proud of it. Use it.
There is another problem in our industry, and it's not just a Big O problem. Everyone is trying to deal with it, and that's the shortage of qualified mechanics. It's a huge problem. But we are introducing an exciting new program that we hope will solve your own mechanical shortage. This is a complete training program focused solely on the mechanical side of your business. The goal is to identify motivated tire technicians in your stores and give them intense, specialized training which will ultimately qualify them as top-notch brake and alignment technicians. The curriculum is based on concentrated 1-week courses in brake and alignment topics. All courses will be taught at our Denver training facility, and all tools and equipment will be provided. The program will be run by Steve LeGros, our national service trainer. Steve is an excellent educator and has put together a very professional and comprehensive brake and alignment curriculum. This is a win-win for everybody. Your qualified associate who has shown good potential can see a definite career path and will have a good reason to stay and grow with your store. Big O has the opportunity to develop a deep pool of the most qualified brake and alignment technicians in the industry. And those qualified brake and alignment technicians mean that all of you can increase the capacity of your service departments. Now that is an exciting new program. But let's not forget that we have exciting training opportunities already in place. Last summer was our first multi-unit training school, and it was a big success. This school prepares managers of single stores for the new managerial and financial challenges of operating 2 or more stores. Let's hear from Rich Lewis from Southern Utah and Kevin Brooks from Colorado about their experiences at the multi-unit training school.
The program was very professional and well constructed to start with. I felt like I was going to a higher education program. The more I participated, the higher level that I would leave on. The biggest thing I learned was that if I could make the stores that I have as consistent as possible, then I could get the best out of employees. Me, I just had a terrible time for 2 or 3 years trying to be in all 3 stores, every day, and I just couldn't do it. I just hated the second and third store. If I'd have gone to that class and talked about what we did there, I would have done a lot of things much earlier, and basically it was, better managing of people and less hands-on, being behind the counter in the store.
Because we had already had some experience at running more than one store, we had some reservations as to whether the multi-store classes would actually help. Once we got there, we found that we learned a tremendous amount, not only from the class that Greg had given, but from the other owners. And as a group, we were able to come away from there with a lot of good information as to ways we could improve our operation. Once we came back and implemented those programs, we had people that were really gung-ho for the company and their stores, and we saw sales increase, we saw the net profit increase, and we saw the gross profit increase.
This year's multi-unit schools are already scheduled, so if you'd like to take part, please contact your regional vice president for those dates. Then there's our new franchise school. It's still doing a great job, and your regional staff is always trying to bring training closer to home with regional training classes. In a related training topic, we are introducing a new program called Big Lift. I don't have to tell you about the current demand for sport utility vehicles and light trucks. These are the areas of tire sales that show strong growth. And of course, we've responded to that tire need with Bigfoot Country and the new Bigfoot tire designs. But there is also another opportunity that has been overlooked by many tire retailers, and that is the demand to lift these vehicles from 1 to 4 inches to achieve a better look or performance. We think this is a profitable new niche, and we're going to pursue it. So we've partnered with the Dick CPEC Corporation, the leader in truck lifting know-how and technology, and put together a total startup program package for our dealers. This package will include complete fitment guides featuring the most popular lift packages, ordering procedures, pricing, and installation information. It's simple to use and puts you in the lift business today. SUV and truck customers like to personalize their vehicles and make them unique. This is a growing market, and you don't have to turn these customers away any longer, now that there's a big lift. Of course, training is not the whole answer to increased success, especially in this climate of low-priced competition. But the reality is that customers will always find the tire they want somewhere. Our job is to make sure they want to buy it from us because they trust us and feel comfortable in our stores, because they are confident that every Big O person, from the tire tech to the store manager, knows the tire business better than anyone else they could go to, because they believe us when we recommend one tire over another for that particular application, because they are loyal to us despite the assault of lost leader newspaper ads. That's why we believe training and the customer satisfaction that results will be the key to competitive success for the next decade. We are proud of our product line. We're proud of the value-added services that support that product line, but the customers don't get their first impression of Big O from our products. They get it from our people, from the manager or salesperson who meets the customer at the curb, checks their tires, and walks them through the store. The quality of that impression will determine the size of the sale or whether there will be a sale at all. Our comprehensive custom-designed training programs can make that a big impression. Thank you very much.
Welcome back to KBIG Radio. Recently, we had the opportunity to sit down with Kelly O'Reilly from Big O Tires and ask her about the rumor of a Bigfoot sighting at a recent store grand opening. Kelly couldn't tell us all of their plans, but she did say we should look for Bigfoot to be making more appearances for Big O in the Denver area. So keep an eye out for the big fella.
They're taunting us, Jimbo. Let's go back to that grand opening store and try to pick up the trail there.
Marty.
Forget it, Jimbo.
Well, it's our first customer, and you brought your friend along with you today. What can I do for you?
We are looking for Bigfoot.
Bigfoot, right.
Right, I remember. Well, this is Bigfoot country.
Bigfoot is here?
The whole family.
You've got more than one of them.
Sure. We've got one for any kind of terrain you can imagine.
And they're all right here?
Of course. We can put them on your truck right now.
You can put them on our truck for us.
All part of the deal.
Marty, did you hear that? They can put them on the truck for us.
Easy, Jimbo. This is no time to panic. Now, proceed with caution.
Right.
Oh, you don't have to be too cautious with these babies. I mean, these babies will go anywhere. These babies are tough.
Tough, right. Could I wrestle one to the ground?
Well, I've never had anybody request that before, but I guess once we're done with all the paperwork, you can do whatever you want.
We were soon to be back on top. I could see it all now. An ironclad deal for 26 new episodes of Wild Safari, 3 made-for-TV movies, fame, fortune, adventure, and that's not exactly what I had in mind.
Yeah, but the ride home's gonna be a lot more comfortable on these babies, Marty.
Did you wrestle them to the ground?
They took me by surprise.
I see they made a big impression on you.
So did the product line. Crikey, they've got a lot of new stuff in there. Aren't they beautiful? I love them.
Let's hear about that product line now. Please welcome Kelly O'Reilly.
Well, what do you think about Jimbo and Martin? That's a pretty typical tire sale, wouldn't you say? 2 guys strutting in your store in hunting outfits, not sure what they want. Well, hey, I think we ought to take those Bigfoot sales any way we can get them. And as a marketer, I say if the customer wants to wrestle the tire first, I say give him room. If he wants to kiss the tire, I say give him privacy. It is the 90s. Well, this morning I'd like to start with a short story about Al Unser. You know, he started out pumping gas and working on cars in his spare time, but he obviously always had bigger plans than that. He had his sights set on becoming a big-time race car driver, and nothing was going to stop him. And of course, as we know, nothing did. Anyway, after one of his racing wins, a reporter asked him, "Hey, Al, everybody out on that track has good cars. What makes you a winner?" Well, Unser looked at the reporter and said quite simply, "Winning pays more." Well, all of our competition is good too, and if this were Indy, they'd all be first-row cars. But it was Big O that took the checkered flag last year. 1997 was a great year for us, and as Steve mentioned, we achieved a record high for total new tire units sold, up 11% compared to the industry, which was up only 3%. If we were surrounded by reporters right now and they asked, what makes us winners? Why did we get the big numbers compared to everyone else? Well, I'd tell them, you're good. There also were some other contributing factors. Certainly part of the reason is TBC. We now have more competitive product lines so we can meet the competition quite a bit better. At the advertiser low-end side, we're able to be there in the market and help you be more competitive. 1997 was also the first full year that we had our own prestige brand, giving customers a reasonable and attractive tire to buy up to from the advertiser special and a more profitable selling position for you. Another reason is that we just had a ton of product improvements. Things like getting an exclusive dual groove tread design for our new Legacy Tour Plus H and the big changeover in the Bigfoot line. Okay, so we really had a great year. Let's just take a moment and savor that success. All right, enough of that. Now let's get down to business and talk about the exciting programs that will help all of us get to the next level in 98. Well, the first thing is, don't mess with success, or at least don't mess with it too much. While we had a record year in total units, our Big O brand grew at a consolidated rate of 3.56%, which, when we consider the number of new stores we opened in 97, is on a like-to-like store basis actually lagging behind the industry at 3%. Because of that, our marketing efforts in 1998 will focus not just on moving units, but on giving you the tools and programs needed to move more of your own brand. These efforts will target three primary areas: product, promotions, and programs. On the product front, we've got some exciting things happening, starting with our new mid-level tire in the P-Metric segment. This tire, called the Euro Tour, will replace the Aspen and Hydra Track and will give you a new position between the Legacy Tour Plus and the Sun Valley Radial. This is an attractive tire with a contemporary tread design and a high UTQG rating of 460 AB. More importantly, you will now have a profitable tire to sell that mid-level customer who in the past may have struggled to get all the way up to that Legacy Tour, so instead oftentimes may have sold himself down to the Sun Valley Radial. The new Euro Tour is slated for third quarter production and will be produced by Kelly Springfield in a full complement of 70 and 75 series sizes. Coinciding with this change will be the introduction of the new Sun Valley Radial 70 series tire. This tire will be produced in the Value Line Green to offer you more competitive pricing and to position this tire correctly from a UTQG step-up. Now our lineup will look something like this: Legacy Tour Plus, 560. Euro Tour, 460, and the Sun Valley 70, 360. No holes there for either customers or profits to fall through. We're also making significant enhancements to our performance program. You've seen the beginning of these changes with the newly introduced Legacy Tour Plus H, which even in its first few months has already outsold the old Euro HXP by 12.6%. And that represents fourth quarter movement, hardly the peak of performance season. Additionally, the Euro SXP will begin a facelift in 98, including a brand new green tire for this line. We expect this tire to hit your stores in mid-1999. We hope to have initial drawings of this new tire for the dealer planning board during 1998. And for European sizzle at a very cool price, we have the Fulda Assuro and Extremo lines. The Fulda brand is one of the best-selling replacement tire brands in Germany, and as you know, TBC is the exclusive distributor in the United States. This tire has the mystique of the Autobahn and German major brand technology, but retails for less than typical major brands. And as far as your cost goes, the Fulda brand has a cost at or below most competing brands, including Remington, Dunlop, BF Goodrich, and Yokohama. Think about that, a lower retail price for your consumer and a high profit per tire for you than other competing brands. Gosh, why would we sell anything else? Later today and tomorrow, I'll let you know about some exciting promotional opportunities with the Fulda brand. And finally, let's talk about Bigfoot. This product conversion has to go down in Big O's history as the most comprehensive and quickest conversion ever made, thanks to the strength of TBC and partner Kelly Springfield. In 1998, we'll be focusing on adding sizes to the Bigfoot lines, particularly in the dual groove and XT lines. Our goal is to complete these lines and give you more tires in the sizes you need. The dealer planning board will keep you up to date on our progress in making Bigfoot the most complete line in our system. Well, that's just a quick overview of the new products which will be rolling your way in 1998. More details on these will be discussed during tomorrow's seminar, but we're certain they'll make a big impression on your customers. On the promotional side of things, we're also getting off to a roaring start by kicking in the afterburners on our promotional calendar this year. This year, we're bringing back Top Gun every other month from March through September. That means we'll be paying spiffs on selected product lines in March, May, July, and September. So there's an extra month to earn spiffs in this year's promotion. And there are more Big O lines that your salespeople can earn spiffs on. And like in 1997, the top 25 performers each month will get a Top Gun shirt or jacket. The top 10 performers overall will get an all-expenses-paid trip to next year's convention. But this year, the contest will be simplified. There's no more store qualifying levels. Everybody's in from day one. You start making spiffs on your first sale March 1st. And there's no spiff levels. It's a straight spiff per tire, regardless of store volume or product mix. This year, in addition to Big O brand, we'll also be paying spiffs on the Fulda Assuro and Extremo lines. The top 10 winners from 1997 are here today, and tonight at the awards banquet, we'll find out which one of them is Big O's top gun, the best of the best, the world's best Big O salesperson. I guess that's when we'll all know the person the rest of you will be gunning for in 1998. Another big change in Top Gun this year is a special program for franchise owners. This program will run during the same time frame as Top Gun and allow you to earn up to a 2% rebate on your Big O brand purchases, which gives you a chance to cash in on Top Gun, just like your salespeople. Tomorrow, I'll give you all the details during the seminar. Next, the National Flyer Program is also back for a second successful year with mailings in April, July, and October. And I'd like to offer a special thanks on behalf of the company to Texaco, who has once again agreed to contribute to the Dealers National Advertising Fund $120,000 towards our National Flyer Program in '98. At the suggestion of the Dealer Planning Board, the flyer's been modified from 8 pages to 4. This makes it possible for each store to get a minimum of 20,000 flyers for each mailing instead of a minimum of 10,000. That means that each mailing will be over 9 million flyers. That ought to generate some traffic, don't you think? For Monroe, our plans include the upgrading of our current Monroe in-store display to help boost your shock and strut business. Other programs for Monroe will be announced later in the year. And of course, the Buyers Fair kicked off the promotional calendar in January, which means 10 of you are going to be very big winners here at convention, with one of you driving off in our customized Bigfoot Jeep Wrangler. It only takes one ticket to win, but the more you buy, the more tickets you have in the barrel. Now let's talk about some of the new programs in store for you. We all know that it's easier to sell customers when you make it easier for them to buy. In this country, that means a piece of plastic supported by a sound finance program. We currently have over 230 stores participating in Bank One's Money Express program with a customer inventory of over 33,000 accounts. But our hope is that all dealers will ultimately participate. To accomplish that goal, we've been working with Bank One to make significant improvements to the program, including the creation of an exclusive new card design. I'll share the specifics of the program with you tomorrow at the seminar. We also plan on getting our wheel program rolling again. Right now, each of you order wheels from a lot of different companies, and because of that, we don't have With the help of the Dealer Planning Board, we've identified key wheel suppliers that ASA, Krager, Progressive, and Alba. And we hope to consolidate all of our wheel business with these few companies to gain greater buying power. The wheel program will have a real polished look. When a customer comes in looking for wheels, instead of a mishmash of brochures from different companies laying around on your from a single flyer that showcases our wheel offerings from all of the companies I just mentioned. Tomorrow in the seminar, we'll share the specifics of the program with you as well. Of course, the real clincher to this program from your standpoint is pricing, programs, and support. But the success of any program of this magnitude is determined by how successful we are in harnessing the system's total purchasing power. These wheel vendors have committed their support to us. If we fail to support them, then the program will ultimately fail. But of course, we don't think that will happen. We'll work with you to make this program a success and to build upon it to ensure even more competitive pricing and programs in the future. The big marketing push this year continues to be Bigfoot country. Bigfoot is our most valuable trademark, and we fought to protect it. We know the consumer demand is there, the product line's now complete, the merchandising is in place, and the TV commercials are even on the air. I know you've all seen the Bigfoot television commercial by now. We even saw it earlier in the session. But let's just take a minute and look at it again.
It's out there. Strong, tough, agile. Bigfoot. From Big O Tires. The strongest, the toughest, the best tire to get you through Bigfoot country. Bigfoot. Get off your feet and on a set. Only at Big O Tires.
Obviously, all of you out there know the tire business inside and out. But I'm going to give you an inside look at the advertising agency business. Let me show you how we really make a commercial.
It's out there.
Bigfoot is very real. In fact, when I was a kid, I had sort of a Bigfoot encounter, which I think helped us get this job. The fact that I had, seen Bigfoot before, and I don't think anybody at Big O or the ad agency had ever seen him before.
Barker?
We thought that we wanted Bigfoot to be a dwarf. We thought that'd be a nice way to juxtapose the traditional Bigfoot stereotype.
Strong, tough, agile.
Well, I was really surprised at how much work this was. I mean, for us. I mean, a lot of these guys are standing around, we're hoisting the lights, we're running the camera.
Brutal work. Casting was really tough. We knew we wanted something very specific. We wanted to get two guys that we could pretty much abuse. We could do anything to. Unfortunate thing is they were already locked up. They were the Budweiser Frogs. And we had to pay an unbelievable amount of money to get them out of their contract with Budweiser. And that's why Budweiser's gone to this lizard thing, because they don't have the frogs anymore. We got the frogs.
It was exhausting work. I mean, it was laborious and tiring and, God.
The best tire to get you through Bigfoot country.
I couldn't believe the talent that we had in this bunny. I'm not sure where they got him.
I was looking for a black rabbit.
What we wanted him to do was bolt as soon as he saw Bigfoot in the woods. He was a pro.
Bigfoot.
We knew that it took a lot to be Bigfoot, especially in those conditions, in the rain, in the mountains. The altitude was killing us. So the 2 weeks prior to the shoot, we put these two through sort of a Bigfoot workout. And it was a lot of your basic, your motor skills, your basic coordination things. Cardiovascular was important. We wanted to make sure that they could handle the workload for the day. So they pretty much, we put them on a plan, and they pretty much took it from there.
Come on, you can do better than that!
The strongest, the toughest.
I mean, lifting all that equipment, hoisting the lights, the camera, running the camera, the directing.
Yeah.
Walker! Well, as a client, I was kind of going along expecting to be able to tell people what to do, but I was a little surprised that I ended up cleaning tires and wiping off wheels.
A little more to the right on that chrome.
And getting coffee for the director.
In retrospect, I think we could have written, shot, directed, acted in the whole spot ourselves.
Absolutely.
Get off your feet and on a set. Only at Big O Tires.
Well, it's absolutely amazing that we ever get anything on the air, don't you think? These commercials are really working for us, and we're going to be bumping up our efforts with more television production this year. The majority of that effort is going into the Bigfoot line. We're going to be giving it a maximum push in both our stores and in the media to make the biggest impression we can make. Yes, 1997 was a great year, but we think it was only a practice run for the year we're going to have in 1998. This year, you have more bullets in your marketing gun than ever before. You've got the products and the programs, so set your sights, aim for success, and hit your target, because remember, winning pays more. Thank you.
Can I just go in and look?
Animals don't like you. Birds don't like you, Jimbo. See? As we left Denver, it occurred to me that safaris are really about adventure, and we truly did have adventures in Bigfoot country. Now, although we didn't bag the beast, we did get a really great set of tires that could take us down new roads to greater adventure.
Marty, I've heard of this dinosaur.
A dinosaur?
Yeah, a big purple dinosaur that sings.
You've heard of a singing dinosaur?
Yeah, I'm telling you, kids would love it.
Man, if we could bag that.
We'd be right back on top. You know, Marty, the song that dinosaur sings is pretty catchy.
Oh, don't do it.
Now, here we go. I love you.
Oh, boy.
You love me. Sing it with me, Marty. Here we go. Now, I'm going to sing it first and then you sing it.
All right.
All right, here we go. No, I was going to sing it first and then you sing it. All right, here we go. I love you. Here we go. You do it now.
I love you.
Right, now together. Here we go. Here we go. Right. I love you. You love me. You love me. You know, this is great. We should start a band or something. You know, forget this.
Well, Marty and Jimbo, maybe you didn't find the Bigfoot you were looking for, but you did find the Bigfoot we believe in. The Bigfoot that's making big impressions in '98.